Alrighty, boys and girls, so if you're watching this video, you wanted a few extra practice problems. So if you want to, you can pause the video, write down these questions, try to work them out, solve them, graph them, see if you get the right answer, and if you just want to see how they're done, just keep it playing. Either way, we're going to go ahead with the explanations. Here we go. So the first one, we have 6 plus h greater than or equal to 12. Now, we always look at the side with the variable first. In this case, that's the left-hand side. And on that side, with the h, we have a 6. Now, if there's no symbol in front of that number, we know it's positive, so you can put a little plus there if it helps you. And the opposite of plus 6 is minus 6. So we're going to do that on both sides. 12 minus 6 is 6. So now, to graph this, remember our steps. First thing we do is draw a simple number line. We use the same number from our inequality. Next thing we do is put a circle right on the number line at that number. And now, to see if we shade it in, you ask yourself, can h equal 6? Well, since we have greater than or equal to, h can equal 6, so we're going to shade in that circle. And now, to see if we shade in the right or the left side of the number line, look at it again. h is greater than or equal to 6. That greater than, what that means is that h could be any of the numbers greater than 6. So it could be 7, 8, 9, 10, and so forth. Remember, the numbers that are greater than this 6 are to the right, less than are to the left. So we're going to shade to the right. And if you did not have this inequality and all you had was the graph, the way you would read it is x is greater than or equal to 6. Now let's take a look at number 2. Variables on the left, it's with a minus 3. Let's take care of it. The 3's cancel on the left, and 4 plus 3 is 7. Now we draw our simple number line, draw our circle, and we ask, can x equal 7? Well, since there's no equal sign there, the answer is no. X has to be less than 7, period. So we're going to leave this open because x cannot equal 7. Since x is less than 7, that means x could be all the numbers like 6, 5, 4, 3, negative million, and so forth, all the ones to the left. So we're going to shade that in. Alright, now let's take a look at number 3. I'm going to slide the paper up. Okay, 5 greater than or equal to x minus 1. So the variables on the right, we want to take care of that minus 1 to get x all alone. Opposite of minus 1, plus 1. Now that we have that taken care of, draw the simple number line in your circle. And now we ask ourselves, can x equal 6? Well, here the inequality says 6 is greater than or equal to x. So the answer is yes. We need to shade that circle in. Now, since 6 is greater than or equal to x, that means that x is less than 6. Look at which way this is pointing and facing. X is less than 6. 6 is greater than x. So if this is greater, that means x is going to be all the numbers less than it, to the left. So let's shade that in. Now for number 4, we've got a variable on the right-hand side. X is with a plus 5. Let's take it out with a minus 5. Now we have negative 2 is less than or equal to x. Let's go ahead and set up our number line. Since we have less than or equal to, we know that x can equal negative 2, so we're going to shade that in. And since negative 2 is less than or equal to x, that means that this number is less than any value of x. So x has to be greater than this. So we're going to shade everything into the right. If you have trouble understanding that, this says negative 2 less than or equal to x. So, suppose x was 5. Does that make sense? Was negative 2 less than or equal to 5? Yeah, it's less than 5. So, a number greater than negative 2 works. Let's test it for the other way to make sure we weren't wrong. What if we put in a number over here, like negative 10? Well, is negative 2 less than or equal to negative 10? No, it's not. So these values don't work. These are all the possible values we could put in for x to make this true. Last thing I want to show you is what happens if you don't want to graph an inequality. What happens if you want to graph something that's equal? Let me show you. Here I just put up x equals 2. Take a look. That's the completed graph for it. Notice that there's nothing shaded on the left or the right. just at the 2. And the reason why is because the only number that we can put in for x is 2. X equals 2. It's not greater than 2. It's not less than 2. See the difference? All right, boys and girls.